Hi, this is a 30-minute beginner class all about triangle pose. So we'll start to talk about what your body should look like and feel like as you move into triangle. If you have a set of blocks or even just one block, that could come in handy. If you don't have blocks, it's fine. You can totally do the class without it. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start today in child's pose. So bring your toes together and your knees wide. Let your hips sink back towards your heels. Drop your chest down to the mat. Arms extend out in front. Your forehead can rest down flat on the mat. And as you settle in here, just start to take some deep breaths. Give yourself the space to take those breaths and permission to be on your mat for the next little while without all of the outside influences tugging at you and tugging at your mind. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Just a few more breaths here to start to slow down your mind. Last big inhale, last big exhale. Lift yourself up onto your hands and knees in a tabletop position. Get yourself set up, shoulders right over wrist, hips right over knees, and we're gonna move into some cat-cow. So first into cow, your belly drops, your tailbone lifts, your shoulder blades come together on your back, your chin lifts, breathe in. And cat, we move the opposite direction. Spine rounds, pelvis tucks, chin tucks, spread your shoulder blades apart, exhale. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Now continue this motion on your own breath, giving yourself whatever it is that you need. So maybe you need a little bit of wiggling from side to side. Maybe you need to really shift forward and backward. Maybe you add a twist. Check in here with all the little bits and pieces of your spine. Figure out if there's somewhere that's holding a little bit of tension. Send some extra breath to that space. And come into a nice neutral tabletop. We're gonna loosen up those hips a little. So take your right foot, keeping your core nice and engaged, zipped up from belly button all the way up through your chest. Take your right foot, press it towards the ceiling. So it's like you're holding a tray on the sole of your foot, pointed up above at the ceiling. Now rotate that hip open, so now your thigh is parallel to the ground, your shin is parallel to the ground, like dog fire hydrant situation, and then lower your knee back down. Now we'll do the other way. So we move parallel to the ground up in this fire hydrant position, and then rotate sole of your foot up towards the ceiling, and then lower it right back down to tabletop. Switch, we'll do the other leg. So the sole of your left foot presses up towards the ceiling, rotate it open, fire hydrant, and lower back down. Other direction, up to fire hydrant, rotate open, and lower back down. Now we'll repeat the other side again. You can go on your own, at your own pace, just make sure to hit both directions. We get into this because triangle pose requires a little bit of our hips. Requires our hips to be open. We have to pay attention to the placement of our hips. So we spend a minute here doing what I've heard called hip flossing, getting into those joints. Make sure you hit both sides evenly. And come right back to a neutral tabletop position. From here, walk your fingertips back so you're kneeling up high. Pick up your right foot, step it out in front of you so you're in this nice strong kneeling lunge. Right knee is right above your right ankle and you're in a straight line above your left knee. Now start to lean forward so that your right knee passes over those right toes. Make sure it's heading straight ahead, not pushing out or in. Maybe send your weight back a little bit and forward. Another opportunity to get into those hips. From here, come back to neutral, plant your fingertips. This time, send your weight back a little bit further. Straighten your right leg, heel plants on the ground, right toes point up. Moving into a half split. You can walk your fingertips a little bit further forward if you have a little bit more space. Triangle also requires some length in the back of our legs, so we get into the hamstrings here. Last breath in, last breath out. Inhale, walk your fingertips back. Replant that right leg. Come up to kneeling high and we'll switch. So right knee comes back, left knee steps forward. Set those hands right on top of that left knee and then shift your weight forward. Make sure that right knee tracks right over those middle toes. Send it back a little, forward and back. If it feels better to either tuck your back toe or put a towel or something underneath your right knee, go for it. Come back to neutral, spine stacked long and tall. Plant your fingertips. Extend that left leg out a little bit. Toes pointed up, foot is flexed, heel is down into your half splits. Maybe you walk your fingertips forward a little bit. And walk your fingertips back, come back up to kneeling high, left knee comes right back in. You stay where you're at, I'm gonna rotate and face you. So you're high on your knees, pick up your right foot, set it out to the side. Today we're gonna have our whole big toe edge of the foot parallel to the side of your mat. Sometimes you'll see this with the foot down. Today we're gonna rotate it so toes are pointing forward. Big toe edge of the foot is down. Inhale, both arms up, and then drop your right hand down alongside your leg, maybe at the back of your knee. Don't put any pressure on that knee at all, but lean over towards the right. And come back up to center, and we'll switch. Bring your right leg back in. Left leg goes out. Toes are pointed forward. Inhale your arms up. And again, your left hand comes down. No pressure on that left knee though. Finding some length in our side body. Another element that will come into play during triangle pose. And come back up to center, bring your knees in, and I'll rotate back around. Come back into a narrow-kneed child pose for just a minute. So keep your knees parallel, toes parallel, your forehead can come down to the mat. I like to bring my arms alongside my body, grabbing around behind my heels. Breath in, and breath out. Come up to tabletop, plant your hands. This time tuck your toes, come into your first downward facing dog of class. Pedal your feet out, find a little length in the backs of those legs. Maybe shake your hips from side to side, lifting one hip at a time. Inhale as you look up towards your thumbs and walk all the way up towards those hands. Find a deep forward fold. Bend your knees if you need to. There's no shame in that. You can have a deep bend or just the tiniest bend. Release everything, even the last little bone in your neck. You're really just resting here. And slowly inhale as you roll all the way up to standing. One vertebrae stacking on top of the next. Till you're all the way up to standing. Lift your shoulders up and around your ears, roll them back, and then let them rest and roll back down your back, creating length in your neck. Inhale, arms sweep up, grow tall, and exhale, hands to heart, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift, plant your hands on your shins, lengthen your spine so the crown of head is reaching towards the front of the room, your belly button is drawing back towards your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale rolls you right back up to standing. Arms float up. Exhale, hands to heart. Adding on this time, inhale, everything goes up. And exhale, hands to heart, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, this time plant your hands, step your right foot back, step your left foot back, find yourself in high plank. Take a deep breath in. Exhale as you send your elbows back towards the back of your mat and lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale, lift your chest and shoulders up into a baby cobra. Exhale, lower back down. Tuck your toes, press back through tabletop position, and then all the way up, downward facing dog. Breath in, and breath out. Breath in, and breath out. One more breath in here, and breath out. Now from here, you're going to inhale your right leg up right behind you, your heel pressing towards your crown molding, your foot is flexed. Try and keep those hips square. So don't lift your leg so high that your right hip is lifting over your left. Keep your right hip in line with your left hip. Now on an exhale, shift your shoulders forward over your wrists. Draw your right knee into your nose and either step or reach your right hand back and help your right foot through in between your hands. Stay here in this low lunge for a breath in and a breath out. Inhale all the way up. This is high crescent pose. So you're high on the ball of your back left foot. Your right knee is stacked right over your right ankle. Your fingertips are reaching up, stacked over your shoulders, squeezing your left glute. Breathe in. Take your right hand, grab your left wrist, lean over to the right. You really have to press through the ball of your foot and your heel to maintain your balance. Finding length on your left side body. And inhale back up to center. Exhale, open up, warrior two. In warrior two, your back foot's parallel to the back of your mat. Front knee is still right over that front ankle. Shoulders right over hips. Arms reaching forward and back. Now we're going to move into reverse warrior. Your bottom half is going to stay exactly the same. Don't let it move. Your left hand drops down to your back leg. Your right arm reaches up towards the sky. Don't lose any of the bend in that right knee. When we reach back, we have a tendency to push back with our front leg. Reach back without losing the bend in your front knee. Exhale, bring your arms back to warrior two. Now we'll move into triangle. Start by straightening your front leg. This is the beginning of triangle pose. Your legs are going to stay just like this. So your back foot's parallel to the back of your mat. Your front toes are pointed right ahead. Your front heel lines up right with the middle of your back foot. Now from here, start to reach your front fingertips forward, 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 forward. When you can't reach them any further forward, then your right hand comes down, the back of the hand to the inside of your thigh, inside of your calf, inside of your ankle, and your left arm reaches up. But let's back up and talk about one more thing. So here we are, right arm reaches forward, forward, forward. It's important to remember here that your hips stay within the same plane. Your right hip stays tucked underneath your left. If you're leaning so far forward that you start to twist and your left hip drops down, then back off a little bit. Your right hip stays tucked under, they're in the same plane. They're in between two panes of glass here. Your whole body is sandwiched in between two planes of glass. So if you start tilting and breaking that plane, that's a sign to back off. So come back up high, arms reach out, reach, 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 keeping those hips in the same plane, and then drop your right hand down. This is also a great place to use a block. If you need a little support, place your hand on a block, left arm reaches up. Now, you can have your right hand fingertips to the ground, flat on the ground if you have the flexibility, or floating on the inside of your calf, or the block. If you feel like your front knee is pushing so far back and hyperextending, you feel like it's going to pop out of the back of your leg, add a tiny micro bend in that front knee. We'll hold here. You can gaze up at those fingertips. Push through all four corners of both feet so you feel all the support you need. If you're using a block, gently slide that out of the way. Last breath in. As you breathe out, bend your front knee, place both hands on either side of your front knee, lift up high on the ball of your back foot, step back to high plank. Exhale, lower your belly all the way down to the ground. Inhale up to cobra. And exhale this time, all in one exhale, press all the way back, downward facing dog. Now we'll do the other side. Nice and slow like that. Then we'll speed it up a little bit on each side. So inhale your left leg up, three-legged dog, pressing through your heel. Hips are staying in one line, not opening up. Exhale, shoulders over wrists, knee to nose. Step or help your left foot through your hands. Stay here for one breath in and one breath out. Press through the ball of your back foot. Squeeze your left glute. Lift all the way up to high crescent. Take your left hand, grab your right wrist, lean to the left, finding space from your right pinky all the way alongside your body to your right hip. Inhale back up. Now open up, warrior two. Breath in and breath out. Now your bottom half stays exactly the same as you reverse your warrior. Right hand drops to the inside of your back leg, left arm reaches up. And exhale back to warrior two. Here we go into triangle. Straighten your front leg. Reach your fingertips forward. Reach, 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 retreat. Keep your left hip tucked underneath your right. Now your left hand drops to the inside of your leg. Right hand goes up. Gaze at that right hand. Squeezing your right glute to help keep you lifted. Really making sure that you feel like you're between those two panes of glass. If you feel yourself coming out of that plane, back off a little bit, lift up a little further. Last breath in. As you exhale, bend your front knee. Windmill your hands down on either side of your foot. Come to the ball of your back foot. Step back to high plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, hips go all the way up and back. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in here. Deep breath out. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, look at your thumbs. Exhale, walk or step all the way up to meet your hands. Breathe in, find that halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to standing. Arms float up, gaze goes up. Exhale, hands come all the way down to your heart. Take a few breaths here. And we'll do that again. A little bit quicker pace, moving one breath to one motion. Inhale, everything goes up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, step back to high plank, lower down, all in one exhale. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Breath in and out. Inhale, lift your right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, step or help your right foot between your hands. Inhale your chest up to crescent. Right hand grabs left wrist. Exhale as you lean to the left, or to lean to the right, sorry. Inhale back up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, triangle, straighten your front leg, reach. And exhale as you settle down into triangle. We'll stay here for a full breath in, full breath out. One more breath in, and exhale as you bend your front knee, plant your hands, step back to high plank, exhale over to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. One more breath in, breath out. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Step or help your left foot through. Inhale up to high crescent. Left hand grabs right wrist. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale, back up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, back to warrior two. Straighten your front leg, tip into triangle. Start by reaching forward before you drop your left hand inside of your left calf or down to the floor. Breath in. Exhale, bend your front leg, windmill your hands down, step back to high plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog if you've got it in you, or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in and breath out. Breath in and exhale, bring your knees down to your mat. Untuck your toes, sit all the way back in a kneeling position. Draw your hands to your heart. Take a few breaths here. Come down to seated on your bum, feet planted in front of you, hip distance apart. We're going to move through a few opportunities of boat to introduce something new. So when you're in boat, you're going to lean back until you're resting on those hip bones, but you don't want to be collapsing at all. So this is option number one. Your feet stay planted on the mat, your chest is lifted and open across your collarbones, your core is engaged. Imagine you're zipping up a pair of jeans from your pubic bone all the way up to your xiphoid process and underneath your rib cage. You can stay right here. Option number two, hands behind your thighs onto your tippy toes. Just adds a little bit more. Option number three, you can bring your toes up to eyeball height. So now your calves are even with the wall. And you can extend your arms, but if you start to collapse in your chest, then back off to the previous option. Squeeze those thighs together. Option four, you can straighten those legs all the way out. Take a breath in and breath out, set your feet back down. We'll do that again. Decide where you want to hold your boat today. We'll hold it for 3 full breaths in and out. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, and exhale, release. You can come to Sukhasana, shake it out a little. And we'll do that one more time. Come back to plant your feet right in front of you, hip distance. Get yourself set up, engage through your core, spread across your collarbones. Lift your feet, arms out. 3 breaths. Last full breath here. And release. Back to seated. Give it a little wiggle after that. Come all the way down onto now we'll move into a brief reverse tabletop. So plant those feet out in front of you again, hip distance, a little bit of space between your heels and your butt. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders with your fingertips pointing forward. You're going to lift, lift, lift so that your entire trunk is parallel to the mat. You can decide what to do with your neck. Some people are comfortable releasing their neck all the way back. Some people like to hang out somewhere in between. But squeeze your glutes, lift your trunk so your knees are right over your ankles, shoulders are right over your wrists. Breath in and breath out. Set your bum back down. Breath in, breath out. Now we'll do it again. Inhale, press through your feet, lift, squeeze your glutes, find this reverse tabletop shape. One more breath in, and exhale, lower your bum all the way back down to the ground. Stay here for a breath in, and a breath out. We'll do it one last time. Press through all 4 corners of your hands, all 4 corners of your feet, squeeze your glutes. And exhale, lower all the way back down. This time as you release your hands, come all the way down onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest. Start to roll those knees in a big circle. And roll them the other way. We'll end with a supine twist, always one of my favorite options. So draw your knees into your chest, bring your arms out in a goal post next to your head. And as you exhale, drop your legs as one single unit over to the left. Gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale, draw your knees back to your chest. And exhale, let them fall right over to the right. Switch your gaze over to your left shoulder. Inhale back to center. And feet towards the sky, happy baby pose. Grab your toes, let your knees draw towards your armpits, down alongside your body. Maybe sway back and forth a little bit. Draw your knees into your chest for one last hug. And then set up in Shavasana. Let your feet go wide on the edges of your mat, toes falling away. Let your arms fall alongside your body, palms face up. And take this moment in Shavasana to send some gratitude to yourself for taking the time to practice yoga today. Enjoy this quiet meditation for a few moments, and I'll call you back to finish class. Gently roll onto your favorite side in the fetal position. Cradle your head in your arm, draw your knees up into your chest, get really small. Either keeping your eyes closed or your gaze soft, press into the ground and bring yourself all the way up to seated position. Draw your hands to your heart, pressing your thumbs into your chest. We'll take one last collective inhale together. And cleansing exhale. The light in me honors and sees the light in you. Namaste. Thanks for being here. I hope this brought a little bit of clarity about how your body should look and feel in triangle pose. Click the link below in the description box to sign up for my email list so we can stay in touch. I'll see you again soon.